On the table today at Squirrel Stampede, it is a Sonic the Hedgehog collectible catch-up day, mainly featuring Sonic Prime Wave 4. It was like, what, 3 months ago we went through Wave 3 and we were like, let's get to Wave 4 next week, and now it's like months later. But finally, Wave 4 on the table as they slowly filter out onto shelves. We've got New York City Knuckles, we've got Baton Rouge from No Place, we've got Sonic Trooper, probably the highlight of Wave 4, and then a reissue Sonic New York City, but that's probably a popular one, good to throw back into the mix. Also, a few other fun Sonic collectibles I've kind of picked up over the last few months I wanted to throw in and share today. So follow along as we go through another great wave of Sonic Prime action figures. Hopefully they're looking great, and don't prime us. What? Ah! I've been primed! I've been primed! Oh no!
Squirrel Stampede!
Please like,
Share! And Squirrel Live!
So we start with a repeat, a rerun, a reissue, a repeat, a second chance at Sonic New York City. Kind of stuff like this happens with Jakks Pacific's waves. It's good and bad. Probably the most favorite Sonic of the collection would be a New York City Sonic, so I get it. What I don't get is when I go to Walmart and I see a wall of 500 Sonics, and then things like Sonic Troopers are almost impossible to find. To refresh, this one featured 13 points of articulation, Sonic runs at top speeds, and can use his special homing attack ability to destroy robots and protect his friends. It's a really nice figure introduction to the Prime universe. Again, these are at 5 inches instead of 4 inches at the typical release, and they've got some pretty nice speedy shoes and a little bit of fun, somewhat twiggy articulation, so you have to be somewhat careful. Okay, so that Sonic's out of the way. Let's go to something we really want to see, the Sonic Trooper from the Grim. Whoop, watch out there, Goo Jit Zu Tails. Wait, I'm getting so confused now. With Sonic Trooper from the Grim, I've watched these so fast that I'm starting to forget everything I saw. The character designs are just so cool. Most of these feature about 13 points of articulation. It's usually like a tail or tails or a wing or something to throw that up to a higher number. Not throw it up, but you know what I mean. Created by 9 to be as loyal, emotionless friends, the Grim Army are a legion of robots in the mold of Chaos Sonic. Oh, 9, why did you have to do that? Why did you have to do that? Oh, and I should talk about Wave 4 here. The reason I got that second Sonic, I just did a batch full order on BigToyStore.com. Big Bad Toy Store. It was just easier to find them all. I could never find them near me, so that was the way I found my collection, and then I had to get an extra Sonic. So, very interested to see this one out. Let's see it work. And we're out with the Sonic Troopers. Probably should slide in Chaos Sonic in here, just so we can get a visual of what we got. Sonic Trooper. These two have really been the stars of the line, haven't they? They've just been unique and a little bit techie zippy, right? I love that translucent head covering over their robotic brains. I like the matte black paint and bronze, or I guess brown bronze as a secondary color, and loaded up with 13 points of articulation. Obviously, head rotation, shoulders are on hinges that rotate, elbows, wrists, no waist rotation, even though they look like a big ball right in the middle there. It's a fake ball of rotation, and then hips, knees, and feet. Nice steady feet with this whole series for the most part. It's usually more of the spindly, twiggy arms and things that cause them to tip over and fall. And that headpiece is probably one of the coolest pieces I've seen. It works a little bit better than Chaos Sonic, I think, and the translucency of the head. You can totally see right through the side. You can probably see Landry on the other end. Can you see Landry over there? Yeah, it's totally translucent, whereas Chaos Sonic's was more of a metallic covering. And together we've got a Chaos Sonic now and a Sonic Trooper. I think I've only seen one Chaos Sonic in the wild. They go so fast. Again, there's always like 100 Sonics on shelf. Or maybe like a Boss Cage Rose or something. I have difficulty finding these. So yay, it's nice to get this one out and finally speeding around my studio. Whoa, Tails. So I still have a few of these Sonic Heroes of Goo Jit Zu minis in the office. Oh, it's Shadow. What are you up to, Shadow, today? You can find these quite often, a little bit everywhere. A good collection group with them. I've been playing with individually ones here and there around the square. I really like the Shadow and Dr. Eggman, I think, in this series were my favorite. And what I like about the smaller scale Goo Jit Zus with these, they're take with you anywhere, obviously. Maybe take a handful It's a little easier. Shadow. The downside is the paint. They have to paint these, so the more you stretch them, like Shadow's little tuft of white fur there is slowly going to wear off. His boots are slowly going to wear off. So you got to be really gentle in how you play with these, but they're so fun. Whoa! What happened? What happened there? Whoa! What happened there? Okay, whoa, oh yeah, anyway, so there's, oh my gosh, they're just so silly and fun. And a little bit of stickiness too on them, a little bit of stickiness. You could almost drop this, throw this out a window, and you might just stick on ya. Alright, next up on my Sonic catch-up day, we've got Baton Rouge.
It's Rouge.
Here we go again, Rouge. I do this all the time. At least I didn't say rogue. And I even took French classes. Years and years and years ago. Je m'appelle Squirrel Stampede. Baton Rouge, no place. That's a really good one to finally catch up on because of her pirate gear. And actually an accessory, that's so rare. 15 points, so like I said earlier, they're mostly 13, but you add on a couple bat wings or a tail or something, and you usually go up to higher points of articulation. Baton belongs to the good old days when pirating meant more than collecting coconuts and grailing sea dogs. I like it. And I think this is our first Baton Rouge of the collection. She's not really shown. I would have actually rather had a New York City one, but I like the pirate sword, so we'll go with it. Okay, wow, this one is a very solid figure. I've been mocking a lot of the Sonic Prime figures because of their spindly twigginess, and with Rouge here, it seems corrected. I feel like, oh, there she goes, her knee buckled a little bit, but I'm looking at her arms and they feel thicker. They feel like just like a few microns thicker. This arm joint all the way from shoulder down to elbow and gloves. Maybe it's the addition of the gloves and possibly the boots. It thickens her up quite a bit. I'm looking at Sonic here with his spindly arms, especially up at the shoulder point. They're really tiny, and up in those elbows, the way they joint, they kind of flip around weird. But with Rouge, it just feels a little tighter. I think it's those gloves maybe. Looking good. And just overall, everything is looking good. I mean, her torso, her clothing, a little sash there on her waist, big cool high C boots with belt buckles on them, high little cuffs there, gloves matching on each of those, strong gloves, a strong grip on this sword accessory. Nice to have an accessory with these, as so many have not had them. And then the wings over here on the back, those extra hingy wings of Rouge that you can kind of go out to flip them back or forward. They look great. Little bandana around her head for piratey themed. Great looking Rouge figure. She is a lot of fun. I'm not so big into the pirate high seas no place theme. That was kind of like, yeah, I'd rather be like in New York City. Kind of really like the boss cage. Mangy was funny. But you know what? This is really quite cool. This is really amazing. The wings here are fun. So this has been a tops figure, might be one of the best figures of the series, built-wise. And then it just depends on if you're Rogue fan. What do you know? I've got, what? Supersonic? So I have like a couple Supersonic things today. I've got a Goo Jit Zu's mini Supersonic, and then I've got a Sonic the Hedgehog Supersonic Classic. There they all go. A classic. I cannot find this wave. Oh, I've been looking and looking for this wave and finally found just one figure of the wave. This one has the absolutely hard to get. I really want to see Mephiles. Did I even say that right? Mephiles? I don't even know that character for some reason, but it looks so amazing. Why don't I know this character? Which game is that one from? I'm so much more of a classic Sonic nerd. Playing Sonic 1 and 2 at least every once in a while. Sometimes Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It just depends. I'm old school, but I want to know more. I want to know more. Supersonic is the ultimate form of Sonic 11 points of articulation. So I believe I've found a classic Sonic regular, but I've never been out there to find a Supersonic. So let's get this out. Let's see what Supersonic looks like. And a classic Supersonic out. I have probably he's so heavy. Probably activated in gameplay only like a handful of times in my life, maybe 2 or 3. I know it was the hardest thing I've ever done in Sonic 2, just that maze, that run-through maze, or pipe maze. Sonic 2 had the pipe maze, Sonic 1 had the traditional spinning maze, which was just as hard. So it was very rare I got to see Supersonic in gameplay. Why is he so bright? Lower the contrast to get a look at him. Oh my gosh, I love the fiery up hair. Up quills, I should say, not up hair. Now somehow through the years I had collected dozens of classic Sonics, and so not very many Supersonics in classic form. But I had found over the years some modern Supersonics too. Tippy tippy. I think my movie-verse Sonic review I took that one down. For some reason, I think it was tagged. Something happened. So I've got several Supersonics collected. This one's pretty fun back here. This one's pretty rare. I don't see this one very often. So it's a good, really fun, spiky group. They've all got the red shoes, standing tall, looking just super, bubbling with chaos. And that is an imposter. That's Ray. What is Ray doing in here? Ray, you are not supersonic. But a fun little classic. This is the 4-inch scale, so they're a little smaller, less articulation, but I always found the articulation on these to be, a little bit better than Prime's, but actually still just as spindly. Prime makes it worse because of that extra inch. And then we had Goo Jit Zu's minis. Supersonic right there. I think I'm going to keep this one in pack a little bit longer. It's so nice and clean in there, isn't it? I don't want to muddy him up. And it's going to gold up the muddy really fast. So I like the freshness. These little sealed bags. I wish they made them Ziploc. Then you could like keep them in them better. But I'll keep them in there for a while. You may see them drop by sometime. You never know. Okay, the final Prime of Sonic. We got Knuckles, New York City. This is the Knuckles I've been really wanting to see. I think we went through Boss Cage Knuckles. Yeah, Boss Cage Knuckles. He looks so odd. Ready to go fishing Knuckles type of thing. I really wanted the New York City collection Knuckles. So that one's a fun one to see. Let's get him out. Oh, let's check the bio real quick. So also 13 points of articulation, a freedom fighter with the New York City resistance. Knuckles fights tirelessly to free the city from the grip of the Chaos Council. Oh, and we still need to see more Chaos Council, by the way. I haven't looked in a while. What's Series 5 got? I always miss out on... Every time I review these, basically the next series is out. And I'm like, whoops, I'm always behind. And New York, your Knuckles out of the back. That came out odd. And New York, your Knuckles out of the back. What? He's actually more referred to as Knucks. New York City Knucks. But I am just going to be a wreck and constantly just say Knuckles because I see Knuckles. So kind of like Baton Rouge, I feel like it's a little tighter, but I think that's usually common. When you first open these, all their articulated joints are stiffer. They've been hugged in plastic for quite a while, so they feel nice and strong. But then the more you kind of position them, the more they get a little bit noodly. Especially when you've got these Knuckles, these enormous Knuckles hands, these largest Knuckles to fist knuckle ratio I think I've seen in the Figureverse. These are huge, enormous hands, and they're very difficult to work with because of Knuckles' quill hair. You can just kind of basically get them in between his quills there. Try to get them forward. You can go forward there, but now you got the problem of they're just kind of it's very limited with his quills, the way they're positioned. Maybe you take one arm, fit it through the quills. The other arm you can position it forward. Yeah, he's a little odd in working with, but he looks really street smart. Love the New York City cap and looking just all geared out for riots. Got the Knuckles spike gloves on the hands and just kind of some street shoes going on too. So 13 points of articulation in there, but obviously the shoulders are the most difficult part because you got to loop them around the quill here. I'm getting a little better there. Some knuckle sizing working there, and then the elbow joint. the wrists are holding him down. He's so heavy. The wrists are like a solid weight on him. Nothing in the torso section, but you got those hips, knees, and back down to feet, which I think are ball joints. I think I see a ball joint in there. I don't know, maybe it's a hinge. It's so hard to tell sometimes with these. But it's a good looking figure. I like him a lot better than Boss Cage. Boss Cage is cool, obviously. They have their own theme. But a street smart Knuckles is where I was looking for. So that finishes up the fourth wave. The fourth wave of Sonic Prime figures over here, guys. That's a pretty good grouping. I can't really pick a favorite. I guess it's going to go to Sonic Trooper just because that's just amazing. But Baton Rouge and Knuckles turned out just fantastic too, even a repeat Sonic. So they've done well with this series. It's been a fun series to get into and a fun show to watch. Oh, I forgot. Classic Sonic had a bumper there. Those are always fun for an accessory. Okay, so the last crazy today for Sonic, and this has been sitting on my shelf forever. It's a Brickheadz Sonic. What do you think about this? What do you think? That is weird. Usually Brickheadz turns out pretty well, but I don't know if this is going to translate well for Sonic. What's in the box? Instruction wise, this is 213. There's also a Tails. There's also a combo pack of Shadow and Knuckles, I believe. Pieces. More pieces. Good piece color, obviously, with all the blues and yellows. Sonic, what happened to you? He ran so fast he bricked himself. So let's speed build through a Lego Brickheadz Sonic. And there it is, constructed, a Brickheadz Sonic, and honestly, once constructed, it actually looks pretty good. And you're probably thinking, you've gone crazy, Squirrel Stampede. And I'm looking at the image through my camera screen, and it does still look crazy through the screen. But as I'm holding this, and if I would bring this up to my face, I think it actually looks pretty good. There's something lost in translation in video and imagery. Look at the back. Look at all the quills coming off the back end. That looks really nice. And Brickheadz are supposed to be a little more blocky. I think the biggest challenge where it kind of goes wrong, or maybe in the eyes there, and it just looks silly. This is a rare thing though, where just in hand, visually, it actually looks really cool. And I know you're just going, I've gone mental, crazy, all that stuff. But I really like it. I think it's cool. He's got a little ring on his hand there. You can rotate the hands either front facing or down or backwards, I suppose. He's got his speed shoes on and a little Brickheadz base to place him on. So yeah, I kind of made fun of this whole series, and now I might just have to build Tails. I think I have a Tails around here somewhere. Yeah, here's a Tails, and again, Tails looks absolutely silly on box. Like, what happened to you? That's Tails. That's Brickheadz Tails. Looks like a fox who's just about to get hit by a car, but I have this feeling he's gonna be like Sonic, and I'm looking at Sonic right now in my palm of my hand, and I am pretty impressed. Even his little pointy poppy ears up there. So yeah, this is one of those rare things. It is lost on screen and on print, but in hand when you're actually visually looking at it, I think it's really quite fun. So that was a surprise for me. What do you think? If you've built this, are you happy with what happened, or are you just like, that was the most craziest experience I've ever had? Oh, you know what would make him look a little bit better? Ears. How did I forget the ears? Maybe because they just look like ear holes, and I was thinking I got it done, but did not. Now what do you think? He looks even crazier. Those rounded corners, though, seriously fix up his head now. How did I miss that? Perhaps I just speed built past the speed build barrier. So there we go with Sonic Collectible Catch-Up Day, mainly Sonic Prime Wave 4 with Baton Rouge, New York City, Knuckles,
It's
Sonic
enough.
Trooper, and well, New York City Sonic back again. What a collection these guys turned out to be. Fun to finally catch up with this group, add into my Sonic Prime collection shelf. They're a good group, they're fun. I hope we get at least 1 or 2 more waves, as at this point that should start solidifying each Sonic Prism Prime location, Prism Shatterverse location. That way we have a group of everybody from each zone. That would be great, but yeah, we still need a couple more waves to kind of finish that off. So great collection, keep an eye out for these. A little trickier to find, but I'm starting to see Wave 4 just a little more often, even though Wave 2 and 3 are still mostly on the shelves near me. And that's the Sonic Prime Wave 4 collection. What do you think? If you liked today's video, please give us a squawk, squirrelibe, squammet your favorite Sonic Prime 4 action figure or a figure from Sonic Prime you'd like to see. Oh, don't forget we have Squirrel Stampede merch out there, like t-shirts, water bottles, and a plush Landry. Thank you so much for watching. That's what I have to say about that. Now with fear, he's clear.